So my guest joining me virtually to talk about the potential of gas, I beg your pardon, as a source of electricity in Nigeria is Mr. Chidi Efobi. So before we start, get right into it. Now, I just want to let my viewers know something very important. Let's picture this for a few minutes now. Imagine reliable, efficient source of energy that keeps your business running all day long. That's 24/7. Now, that's the beauty of natural gas. So natural gas boasts several advantages. It's cleaner than burning coal. It reduces emissions. It enhances your businesses or your company's environmental footprints. Additionally, natural gas is efficient in delivering more energy per unit when compared to other fossil fuels. Now, this translates to cost saving for businesses. And let's not forget versatility. Natural gas can also fuel various applications from powering generators, heating industrial processes. I mean, this source of energy is excellent for manufacturers, not just for small business owners, for people who own large industries. And the flexibility makes it compelling for a wide range of businesses. So to discuss all these benefits of natural gas with me is Mr. Chidi Efobi. He's an expert in the oil and gas industry, and he has so many years experience in oil and gas. And like I mentioned earlier on, he's joining us virtually from Saudi Arabia this morning. So welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me. My name is Chidi Efobi, not Efobi. Thank you.
Okay, that's good to hear. Okay, so I mentioned the potential of natural gas, using it as a source of electricity in Nigeria. Now, could you enlighten us further on the benefits that businesses stand to gain using this gas as a source of electricity in Nigeria?
Yeah, presently Nigeria has over 200 trillion cubic feet of proven gas reserves. With the technology we have now, we estimated about 140 trillion cubic feet can be recovered. But with better technologies like fracking, unconventional technologies, we can even recover more. Now, the proven gas reserves of Nigeria is about the ninth in the whole world in terms of reserve. And about that forms about 30% of what African total gas reserves. In the whole world, we're ninth in reserve. We're producing about 12th in the world, and we're consuming we're in position of 38th position on consumption. So when you see the gap between the reserves we have, the ninth in the world and 38th in consumption, you can see that we have a yummy gap. We have the potential we have for producing and using gas is enormous. It's enormous, and this is not being used. Right now, we are more interested in liquefying gas and exporting as LNG. We export LNG and we get the money back, and the money is probably misused one way or the other. And people who loot them send them back to the Western countries. So we're kind of giving away gas free to the Western countries. So we have a huge potential. You said it all. The cleaner source of energy is much more efficient. And right away now, we have, I don't know whether it still exists, NNPC has NGC pipelines that was taking gas in those. I don't know whether they still exist. And we have a few companies like Shell Gas and Wando that were doing the downstream distribution. We can leverage on all this. We can leverage on these potentials we have. And I mean, you can't describe where we're going to be if we use our gas resources efficiently, prioritize using them domestically to exporting them. We have to, first of all, get our factories running. And it's much cheaper, much more cheaper than much cheaper than diesel, and much cleaner, and much more cheaper than what than what the public power supplies now are charging people, big industries, for supplying power to them. We can take gases, from NGC. The first step to go is probably now the what do you call it? The power sector is now on the concurrent list. That means it's no more federal government prerogative. States can legislate on power. States can key in. I think that's the first part of call. States can key in and probably partner with some of these downstream distribution, like Shell, ones I don't know whether they still exist, and get them to set up infrastructure in probably some hubs, some manufacturing hubs. When they have their manifolds, the delivery manifolds in these manufacturing hubs, factories can set up shop there. You don't have to, when we look at power generation is the most mundane, the simplest thing. It looks so complex in Nigeria because of legal framework. Now it has been decentralized. Now both states and federal government now on the concurrent list. Small companies can get small generating plants. There's gas generating plants that you can just uh, put there and it's plug and play, and you start generating power on your own. Then gradually, when people see the benefit, gradually we have the power generating companies come into those hubs and set up shop, and much cheaper. And by the time we utilize the resources we have and get to the ninth, we're position number 9 in world gas reserve, 38 in consumption. If we can utilize that yawning gap between the reserves we have and the consumption, I mean, you can imagine what they're going to be, what kind of revolution is the kind of speed with which is going to revolutionize our industrial sector.
Thank you for that, Mr. Chidi. Now, yes, I understand you mentioned that, yes, Nigeria, this gas is a natural resource in our country and we're blessed with it, but we haven't fully tapped into its potential. And the gap between the reserves, the fact that we have large reserves in Nigeria, and also the fact that we are not really consuming it, tapping into its potential. Now, what kind of, but how do we, first of all, before I ask you that question, how do we bridge this gap and go further into this? As you mentioned, gas is used for other things. It's not just used for cooking alone. We can also use it for electricity. But like you said, that's one of the most mundane things we can use it for. There are other potentials. Can we go further, discuss this further, the benefits of using gas for other things, not just for electricity generation alone?
Yeah, gas can also have compressed natural gas, which can be used to drive automobiles, just like we have the gasoline. We can also liquefy gas. There's what we call NGL, natural gas liquids. We can also do the natural gas liquids, which is used as chemical feedstock for all sorts of things. Everything you have, plastics, name it, plastics, medicines, name it. Virtually everything you can get these days, petrochemicals. We can get natural gas when you break it down to natural gas liquids. It can be used for those things, chemicals, petrochemicals, drugs, fertilizers, and what have you. All those are benefits we're missing. And all those key in, we need all those things. Fertilizers for agriculture to revolutionize our agricultural sector. If we tap the potentials we get from gas, it will, everything you have virtually is made from plastic, so from automobiles to medicines to furnitures to what have you. So it will revolutionize those things, and you can see it can be said that we're sitting on a keg of money, but we're not utilizing it.
Like I mentioned, I said, how do we bridge this gap because there's a wide gap between how we consume and the gas reserves that we have in Nigeria. So therefore, we need to actually go further into using it more, like you mentioned. But could you also, like commercializing this? Yes, recently there's been an approval from the federal government to start powering using CNG as a mix for energy for our vehicles in Nigeria, not just fuel alone. We should have gas-powered vehicles also. So it's something that it's a project that has already started, and we believe before this year ends, we will start seeing more vehicles, particularly our commercial vehicles, before the private ones, using CNG to power them. So that's one step, but we still need to go further into this. And you have also mentioned the potential. So now, what challenges exist for gas? Do you think there are some logistical challenges that exist for us to tap into this potential? Could you explain further, please?
Yeah, first of all, it requires there are challenges, and there are challenges generally in doing business in Nigeria. Now, if we identify gas and the utilization of gas as a special growth engine in the economy, we can give it priority. And most times people talk about foreign investors. I don't so much agree with the issue of foreign investors. If the environment is right, Nigerians will be the first to invest in the economy. So to get it to bridge this gap, the government first of all has to identify it as a special growth point and give it priority. And then people have to have faith. People have to have faith in the credibility of the government to manage the economy. When people have faith in the credibility of the government to manage the economy, and the government shows political will in identifying these special growth points that they're going to give it priority. The next thing that comes in is security of life and property. Where people will invest when they are secure. Then the government now provides adequate security. Have a proper, attractive policies and legal framework, and probably do some things that gives tax benefits. People who are investing in special growth points, probably for a period of 10 years or something. You remove them from taxes and some certain type of taxes. Remove them from insulate them from double taxation that we see. All sorts of dubious double taxation we see in Nigeria. Local government, state government, municipal, town union, environmental protection, and all sorts. Remove them from, isolate them from those places, and some kind of land reforms. Give people special incentives, and Nigerians will invest in gradually start investing. No special strategy is required in it. As far as I'm concerned, it's the easiest and most mundane thing is for people to have faith in the government, the ability to manage the economy, and for the government to identify this as a special growth point and give it priority, have the political will, provide security of life and property, give special incentive to people who are investing in gas infrastructure. And what else do you need? If Nigerians will invest in Nigeria, have guarantee. The government now kind of look at some, depending on what they're investing in. If there are people who are using it for power generation for public consumption, government can kind of guarantee, like they do in the transmission, guarantee the output that comes from there. That form a kind of guarantee that the output that comes from there, the investors are going to get returned for their money without going to face the downstream part of it. Nothing special. Do those things. Some Nigerians will invest in Nigeria.
I totally agree with you on that. Nigerians investing in Nigerians. That's something that we need to do more often, and it shows how patriotic we are. So now that means it requires more advancements in technology to unlock even this greater potential of gas. Like I mentioned, we use gas to power. There are some industries right now that are actually using gas-powered generators for their use in the manufacturing sector. But I think we can still go further to also use it not just for industries, but also in homes for domestic use. Yes, there's the cooking gas part, but for basic appliances, we can also use this. So this will require advancements in technology to unlock this potential from natural gas as a power source. So your thoughts on this, please?
Is it really advanced technology? I don't think it's advanced technology to pipe gas. It's just to have it cuts across a whole lot of things. Is to because if you're going to bring gas into people's homes, it has to be a secure network. There's no advanced technology. It's a secure network to be sure that, and protected pipelines and safety, general orientation, and making sure that everything we do is in a kind of master plan. If they could have a master plan for, let's say, come to a place like Lekki, we have a master plan for gas network. That master plan is known by everybody, and there's discipline, not people digging, doing excavations here and there and busting into gas network and causing catastrophe and all that. Just that discipline to have a master plan for everything. Everything is duly planned. Nobody does this. not special technology. Nobody does this. Nobody deals without authorization. Nobody does sewage without authorization. Nobody digs. Nobody, that discipline, law and order. You have, if you have the master plan, everybody knows about it, that there's gas passing through here. Nobody's allowed to erect anything. No shanties, no vehicles run there. Uh, what special technology we need? Not special technology. It's just the discipline, to have things done in order in our country. That's it. Then we go into those homes and all the rest of it. We have to move gradually. We have to move gradually. We first of all start from manufacturing, in my own view, and when that succeeds and we start seeing the benefit, then we start moving gradually to before we get to individual homes. And we probably will start from places that are properly planned, places that are properly planned to start getting those into individual homes and the rest of the bits. The manufacturing sector, first of all, that's the easiest to go into now. Power generation is easy to go into. Going into homes, piping gas into homes requires proper planning in properly planned places, discipline, following due process in doing things. Nothing so special about technology. Powering gas, just turbine, plug and play. Get turbine, connect gas to it. That's it. For big manufacturing company, getting gas generators, which some industries are already using in Lagos, bringing the gas generators, piping gas into them. And just like you have gasoline, just like you have diesel, and you power the generator, that's it.
I agree with you. It can be achieved, definitely. Okay, now, this gas, this resource, yes, when we know where it's mined from in Nigeria, but don't we need to, just like the fuel, for example, now we have to refine this crude oil to get petroleum, which we use for vehicles, and we also use for a few generators here in Nigeria. But for gas, don't we also need to refine it so that it will be suitable for use for all these things that you have mentioned? And that has posed the challenge for, I'm referring to fuel, for example. It has created a challenge for us because right now Nigeria is still importing fuel and bringing it into the country before it can be sold to other marketers. Then it gets into to the last consumer. So gas, wouldn't that be the same issue with it, having to refine it, and then there'll be the issue of, okay, let's send it out to be refined, then we can bring it back into the country for use.
No. Send it out. No, that's not. The logistics involved is too much. You not necessarily refining. You need to, all those. There are some specifications. The generators, the turbines, and that you need this gas to power have specification on the type of gas they need. Specification means the constituent of the gas, what percentage of all the constituent that is needed. It's just to get them into, get the gas out of the ground, filter it, knock out some liquid because some liquids will be there, knock out liquid and check the specification. It's not a very difficult technology like you have in refining. Get the gas comes out from the ground with some impurities, some liquid, and we're lucky in Nigeria, our gas is sweet gas generally, not like in Saudi Arabia where you have sour gas. So you need complex plants to first of all remove the H2S in it, and then knock out the liquid and knock out and filter it before use. We have very sweet gas. We have sweet hydrocarbon in Nigeria. So just to get it out from the ground, knock out the liquid from it, and remove some impurities and send out the specification. To transport gas outside the country to refine, no, gas is not like liquid. It's not like liquid hydrocarbon. The logistics to do that would be almost impossible. So you have to set up those plants close to the point of where you are mining them. You get much gas in the Niger Delta. Yeah, you get those plants close to those from those locations, and then after cleaning them, knocking out the liquids in them, getting them to the specification you need, then you compress and push to wherever. to the northern part of Nigeria, wherever you want to use them. Presently, I believe Nigerian gas company owned by NNPC, I don't know whether it still exists, are already doing that. They are pumping gas. I don't know whether it gets to the north or somewhere. They're pumping gas all over the south. Yeah, it's already been done. It's not a complex technology in any way.
NNLG is pumping gas to different parts of the country, both in the north and in the south also. Okay, yes, so yes, you've explained that the technology is something that we can actually do here in Nigeria. It's not a difficult kind of technology like the way it's required for fuel, for petroleum and crude oil. Okay, now while natural gas burns cleaner than coal, is this enough to mitigate its contribution to climate change, especially considering methane leaks throughout the extraction process of natural gas? And in addition, there have been issues of gas flaring in, like, yes, in the region where gas is mined, in the Niger Delta region, there's been issues of gas flaring. So if we're going to go further and use these gas reserves, that won't this increase this? Because this issue of gas flaring has caused a lot of pollution in those communities where it is mined. So how do we also try to curb this issue from happening, and also the climate change issues in addition?
The gas that is being flared is the gas that should have been cleaned up and used. So when you start using the gas, you flare less. Flare is a constant thing. You have to have the flare stack. It's a kind of a safety device. So it should always be there. But what should be burning should be pilot flare. So when you have a safety issue, there's a process offset. It should go to flare. Now, if the government is serious, it requires political will to tell these oil companies, you bring out the hydrocarbon, you remove liquid, and you burn the gas. Don't burn the gas. Government is serious and is corruption free. Mandate these people. You must utilize the gas. You must process the gas and push it into the national grid or whatever you call it, like maybe Nigerian gas company, because they think to process it, and they want the quicker money, and they don't care about what we are losing. That's my own take of it. Now, when you come to, so when, in essence, when you start utilizing the gas, you will not be seeing those flares. It will be a constant flare. The flare starts with CVD as a kind of safety device, so that when there's process offset, instead of having catastrophe, it goes to the flare. Now, when you talk about climate change, I'm not a fan, especially in our country, Nigeria. I'm not a fan of this climate change and using it to muzzle people from growth. Britain, Australia, even United States are still in China, India are still burning coal. Are still burning coal to generate power, and we are in our country. There's what is called Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Our people have not met the physiological needs, the basic physiological needs of people. We have not met it, and we're talking about climate change. Let this industrialization that are still burning coal, burning liquid hydrocarbon, burning gas, and all sorts. Let them give us money. So we should not be talking about this climate change in Nigeria. I'm against it. We should first of all generate power from whatever source. Generate power from coal, generate power from solar, generate power from wind where we can get it, generate power from hydroelectric power. Get our country economy running first before we start talking about climate change. Climate change. China is barely burning coal. UK is burning coal. Australia is burning coal. All the industrialized nations are still burning coal, generating power, and making their people live well. And we're here talking about climate change. When our people are abject poverty, we should first of all meet that basic need, our physiological needs of people, before we start looking into that environmental, whatever that means. That's my view.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much for joining us this morning on Market Insights, Mr. Chidi Efobi. It's been a pleasure having you on the program. And yes, I enjoyed the way you made this look very seamless. The fact that the gas can actually be used to do more, and we need to tap into our reserves in this country. Yes, I mentioned we have the CNG project that will be completed before the year ends, and we'll be using it to power our vehicles in Nigeria as an option for fuel. We also have CNG and fuel for vehicles in Nigeria. So that's just one way, and having gas used as for more manufacturing plants and also for domestic use in our home, not just cooking gas alone, but also for for other appliances in the home. Thank you for enlightening us further on this. It's been great having you on the program this morning, and we look forward to having you on the program again.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks for having me. Bye.
Okay, let's look at the money market figures this morning. Now, this week on Friday, we look at how the market has fared, the selling rate of a particular foreign currency with focus to the dollar. Now, the selling rate of the dollar from Monday to today, Friday. So on Monday, the dollar was selling for 1,010 naira to $1. On Tuesday, it was 1,212 naira to $1, and on Wednesday it was 1,317 naira to $1. On Thursday it was 1,212 naira to $1, and on Friday it's the same as Thursday, 1,212 naira to $1. So those are our selling rate figures from the Central Bank of Nigeria. Those are the selling rate figures of the dollar as at this entire week from Monday to Friday. Well, as at this week, today Friday, it's 1,212 naira to $1.